We lived under an HOA for years. I recently discovered it had been dissolved since 2012. For more than 8 years, my family lived under the authority of an HOA in Michigan that I never once thought to question. It was a small neighborhood with no pool, no clubhouse, no gates, and no HOA dues. Okay, I've never heard of an HOA without dues. The whole thing mostly just existed to enforce neighborhood rules and supposedly protect property values. That's the golden phrase for these HOAs. Honestly, for years, it seemed mostly fine. The original landowner's son lived in the neighborhood and acted as the HOA president. As far as anyone knew, he had always been the guy in charge, and nobody really questioned it, including me. Then last fall, my wife and I decided to pour a cement expansion next to our garage for additional parking. We went through what we thought was the normal approval process. Conversations happened, texts were exchanged, and everything seemed okay. Then the night before the cement trucks were scheduled to arrive, I got a text saying part of the project was suddenly not approved, and if we moved forward anyway, we could end up having to tear it all out. And you probably paid a deposit for the cement truck, I assume. That's horrendous. So I asked what I thought was a pretty simple question.
What rule are we breaking?
Here's what happens. They make up rules that you're breaking just to get money out of you. Just predicting. The response I got back was basically, it's not approved, Matt, bottom line. Made up rule. That was it. No bylaw reference, no township ordinance, no actual written rules saying we couldn't park next to our garage. Just authority. Something about that really bothered me. Not enough to start a fight, but enough to make me start digging. At first, I honestly thought I'd find some small technical thing I was misunderstanding. Oh, bless your heart. You trusted the HOA. I'm sorry. Instead, I ended up going down a rabbit hole involving HOA bylaws, nonprofit filings, township ordinances, and Michigan corporate records. That's when things got rather interesting. I found our HOA listed on the Michigan Business Registry as a nonprofit corporation with the status dissolved, operation of law. The annual filings had apparently stopped in 2012. I was doing this research in 2025. At first, I assumed I had to be misunderstanding something, so I kept trying to disprove it. I searched every variation of the HOA name I could think of, looked for alternate entities, dug through county records, and kept looking for anything that explained why a dissolved corporation was still acting like an active HOA. Also, they're not even collecting HOA dues, so I don't understand the point of all this. I kept ending up at the same result. I immediately realized that our house wasn't even built until years after the HOA had already been dissolved. Oh no. And yet the HOA was still approving projects, enforcing rules, denying requests, and acting as if everything was fully active. That's what we call a power trip. That's when I stopped focusing on the cement situation and started focusing on how to tell the rest of the neighborhood what I found. Oh yeah. I didn't want screaming matches or neighborhood drama. I just wanted everyone to have the same information. So I wrote a 5-page letter explaining everything as clearly and calmly as I could. I included screenshots from the Michigan State website showing the dissolved status, along with instructions showing neighbors how to verify it themselves. Smart. Then I did something that still makes me laugh a little. I checked to see if the exact HOA name was available as a .com domain. It was, so I bought it. Ooh, this is devilish. The homepage contained the same letter I mailed to everyone in the neighborhood. I also added an FAQ section and a password-protected discussion page where homeowners could talk privately. There are only 10 homes in our neighborhood, so I hand-addressed 9 envelopes, drove to the post office, and mailed the letters out. A few days later, things got interesting. The HOA president was obviously upset. Oh no, my power trip's over. Oh no. And eventually joined the private discussion page. Okay, who gave him the password though? Trying to defend the situation. But the more he defended it, the worse it actually got, because he's a clown. At one point, he openly admitted he had intentionally allowed the HOA to expire years earlier to save money. Then why wouldn't you start collecting dues just to pay for that? Okay, it doesn't add up. Anyway. So now homeowners were reading in writing that the HOA had knowingly been dissolved for years while still continuing to operate like it had authority. After that, things quieted down pretty fast. No lawsuits, no neighborhood war, no dramatic confrontation. Honestly, life just kind of went back to normal. This all happened last October. Today, the HOA has still not been reinstated. Good. Nobody enforces anything anymore. Great. I love this. Free country. Nobody sends approval texts. Nobody talks about HOA violations. Beautiful. It's a beautiful world. Nice work, OP. And the cement parking area that supposedly couldn't be used, we park there all the time now. Nobody says a word. And that, my friends, is my HOA story, the short version. That was brilliant. You were kind of like a little bit of a Robin Hood in that situation. That was amazing. It's a running theme in these HOA stories, right? That people love to have power trips. But I just wonder why he allowed so many approvals for this cement truck to come in and do your driveway and then all of a sudden at the last minute stop it. Almost feels like he was trying to play puppet master with you or something and got a rise out of this. But it's disgusting. I'm glad you're living in peace in the wild, wild west. That's how I like it.